Hey YouTube, this is HTF8 doing a deck profile for Vennominaga worms, so let's get into it. First off, we have, of course, Vennominaga, boss monster. She's ridiculous. If you can actually get her out, this you have to do by using Rise of the Snake Deity when Venominaga is destroyed. She's invincible to anything. The only way to get her off the field is pretty much to Judgment or warning her before she hits the field, or to have Skill Drain out before. She gets 500 attack for every reptile in the grave, and most likely with like the speed, discard power, and all that of this deck, she's gonna have a lot of attack by the time you get her out. So she should be over 2,500, and it's pretty ridiculous. Really hard to get out, but when you do, it's a good game. We have 3 Vennominaga, the king of poisonous snakes. Same thing as Vennominaga, 500 attack for every reptile, but he's not invincible. Yeah, you're gonna be using him a lot. Monster Reborns, all that. Not really gonna be tribute summoning him a lot. It's most likely gonna be from the graveyard because don't have a lot of like field presence with this deck, so it's mostly just straight speed. You can get him up to some pretty high attack, and he gets scary sometimes. You can just win games with him without getting Vennominaga out. We have 1, 2, 3 Worm Zex. He's 1800 Worm Beater, 4 stars. When he's normal summoned, you can send a reptile from your deck to your graveyard, and you can either use that for fuel for Vennominaga and Vennominaga, or you can do some nice plays like say Worm Zex, dump a Worm King or Worm Queen, and then Viper's Rebirth, the monster reborn them. Get a quick strong monster out. Or you can do the regular old worm combo, which is Worm Zex, dump Yagen, special summon him face down. And I'll show you him right now. So we run 3 Worm Yagen. It's a necessity if you're running worms. When he's flipped face up, you bounce monster your opponent controls. And yeah, people are going to hate him. He's just going to bounce all their boss monsters. Really annoying. People are going to waste so many resources every time you set a card because they're going to be terrified of Yagen, so it's good. He has 1800 defense too, which is nice. We have 2 Worm Carteros. Flip, add a level 4 or lower worm reptile from your deck to your hand. He's a nice searcher. Gets dumped a lot because he's not crazy strong or anything, but it's good to have a searcher. Speeds everything up. We have 2 Worm Jetalix. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. But, it's flip when he's destroyed and sent to the graveyard this turn, special summon him in defense. So, if he does get blown up by something, like some crazy strong monster attacks him, well, he has 0 defense, so even if Raikou attacks him, he's getting destroyed. But, bring him back, and then you can get out a quick Worm Queen or Worm King, because he'll be there for tribute. It's good. We have 2 Worm Tentacles. Once per turn, you can remove from play a reptile worm from your graveyard, and he can attack twice during the battle phase. It's got 1700 attack, which is respectable. You usually won't be using his effect because you're going to have to remove from play, and that's not what you want at all. You want them in the graveyard for Vennominaga and Venominaga's attack. But it's a nice effect to have if you're going for game. I've used it before, it's worked out, so, you know. We have 2 Worm Hope. He's a little iffy. You could consider taking him out for 2 Worm Apocalypse, but his effect is when he's flipped, this card is flipped face up by an opponent's monster attack, draw a card, and then when he is sent from the field to the graveyard, you send, not discard, a card from your hand to the graveyard. So, in the optimum situation, he's going to be face down, you're going to get attacked, you're going to draw one, and then you're going to get to pick what to discard from your hand. It's pretty nice. You get a little bit of draw power and some discard power to fuel your big boss reptiles, so he can get messed up sometimes. You'll have to discard when you only have 1 card. That's really bad, so you got to be smart with him. Here's the bosses. You have 2 Worm Queen. I actually almost like her over Worm King. I mean, not better than Worm King, because he's ridiculous. He just blows shit up. It's crazy. But you can tribute, you can do some crazy combos with her. You can say, Viper's Rebirth, which is a special summon a reptile from the graveyard, but they're destroyed during the end phase. So what you can do is Viper's Rebirth for Worm Queen. Use her effect, tribute herself to bring out another Worm Queen or a Worm King. So they don't get destroyed during the end phase. It's one of my favorite combos. It's good stuff. 327 beaters is always good. Yeah. Then there's good old Worm King. It's good destruction power. 27 attack is always good. Tribute worms, blow stuff up on the field. It's pretty strong. It's good to have. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Viper's Rebirth. We have 3 of them. It's activate only if all the monsters in your graveyard are reptiles. Select a non-tuner in your graveyard, special summon it, destroy it during the end phase. A lot of applications for that. There's like the worm combo. Most obvious one is Venomons in the graveyard with like say 2,500 attack. Viper's Rebirth. While you have Rise of the Snake Deity set, he comes back. Maybe get in a turn of damage, give him some beatdown. End phase, he's destroyed with Rebirth's effect. He goes to the graveyard, you flip Rise, and you got Vennominaga, and that's most likely game. And that's another 500 attack, so she'd be at 3,000. It's just graveyard special summoning, always good to have. The only thing about that card is it limits your exceeds, because if you have Utopia in the graveyard, you can't use it. He's not a reptile, unfortunately. We have Draw Power, 3 Upstart Goblins. Life points don't really matter with this deck. They have 11,000 life points. Doesn't really matter if you have a Vennominaga with 7,000 attack. You're just going to destroy them anyway, so I don't see why not to run it. We have 2 trade-in. You run 3 Venomon, 2 Worm Queen, 1 Worm King. So 6 targets. It's a really good card. Just gotta make sure not to discard too many of your level 8s, so this is still useful. It's one problem I've had when I started to run the deck, but it's really good. Discard a level 8, draw 2 cards. Draw power is always good. We have 2 Snake Rain, which is one of my favorite cards. The artwork's just amazing. Like, it's just raining snakes on top of these people. It's terrifying. You discard a card from your hand, select a reptile from your deck, select 4 reptile monsters from your deck, send them to the graveyard. Crazy fuel power for Vennomon and Vennominaga. Even the card you discard from your hand should usually be a monster, so that's 5 cards you got in the graveyard. It's really good. I like it. The discard part can hurt you sometimes when you have a good hand and you don't want to get rid of things, but it's necessary. We have 2 hand destruction. So each player sends 2 cards from their hand to the graveyard and draws 2 cards. Draw power plus discard power is amazing for this deck. Gotta be smart when you use it. Don't discard the only monsters in your hand. It's a good chance you'll draw not monsters. Well, if you're me and you have horrible luck, that's what'll happen. And then you'll just get destroyed. Bad. But it's really good if you have a hand full of monsters you don't need. Say you have a Venomon on the field who's gonna get overrun because he only has what, 15 or 20 attack. Use that, give him some fuel, and start running things over. Great card. 1 Future Fusion. That card's, everybody knows that card, it's amazing. I got the Rael, pretty version. But I used that for my 3 Worm Zeros. I have an ugly dual terminal and 2 secrets that are very pretty. But yeah, the Worm Zero's ridiculous, so many effects. If you get him out with 6 worms you discard, so much fuel for your graveyard. And he'll get up to over 3,000 attack, be able to draw, special summon, ridiculous. So, it's a very, very good card. If you draw it, gives you a good chance to win. We have our staples, Monster Reborn, very important. Dark Hole, also very good. You can Dark Hole your own Vennomon, and then flip Rise, counts, he gets destroyed, and bring out Vennominaga. Monster Reborn, it's the 4th graveyard special summon card, of course. Onto our traps, we have 2 Rise of the Snake Deity. It's the important card, gets out Vennominaga. Without this, there's no Vennominaga deck, so it's slow. It sucks that that's the only way to get her out, but I guess any other way should be pretty broken, so that's fair. Activate only when a face-up Vennominaga is destroyed. Special summon Vennominaga, the deity of poisonous snakes, from your hand or deck. So drawing her is bad, but if it does happen, she's not dead. You can still use her with that. And my last two traps, got W, Nebula, Meteorite. So the famous Worm card. Change all face-down monsters on the field to face-up defense position. During the end phase of the turn, change all face-up light reptile monsters you control to face-down defense, and then draw a card for each. Draw power and flip power for Yagen. After that, you can special summon a level 7 or higher higher light reptile type monster from your deck. So on the best play, you're going to be able to flip a Yagen, interrupt the opponent's entire move, mess up their strategy. Then flip him back face down, draw a card, and then special summon Queen or King. It's crazy. The only thing is, it doesn't really work that great in this deck sometimes, because you're not using too many of the flip effect worms that we use in a regular worm deck. You're not using Victory or anything, so you could tech that out for 2 Torrentials. I haven't got to try it yet, but definitely a possibility. Alright, I'll just show you my little extra deck real quick. I already showed you my 3 worm zeros. 2 pretty ones, 1 ugly one. You have 1 number 39 Utopia, he's awesome. 1 Wind Up Zenmeister, he's silly, but actually he can do his little effect for the flip effects of like Yagen. It works once in a while. Just gotta be careful with your graveyard with Viper's Rebirth. Got Leviathan, he's broken. Then we have Granosaurus and Gachi. Yeah, everybody has them. And 2 Stardust, just in case. I have a rare Stardust, it's ugly, and all my friends want to rip it, but it's whatever. Alright, that's the deck. It's pretty crazy. Not many people run Vennominaga, with her coming out in, what is it, raw yellow as a rare, which is really gross. A lot of people should try to check it out. She's really accessible now. All the cards are easy to get. I might actually put this deck up for sale. I'm not completely sure yet, but if you're interested, it's a fun deck. Leave a comment or send us a PM at HDNation. Just send an offer. Have an idea of how much you'd be willing to spend on this deck. We'll definitely consider shipping it out to you. We're going to have an eBay page up soon, so I'll put that in the description when I get the chance. And thanks for watching, guys. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe.